Dyno Bob here. Wanted to go over some of these other things here on the bench. We had a clip right before this on a car on the dyno. We were showing you the track blower. We're getting ready to run those lightweight rotors. And it was a little bit about the crankcase vent. So anyway, I want to go over a couple things. Last time we got together, we were talking about this 249 pulley. We got the pulleys done. They are available. And you can see on here, here's one right here. This will produce 16.5 pounds of boost with an upper-only pulley. This is going to be a 525 rear-wheel horsepower kit, the easy way. Back in 2003 when we started on this, we had a 500 at the tire, the easy way kit, and we sold a lot of those. And this kit here is already popular, and it's going to be a neat deal. You're going to retain your bottom standard crank support, your bottom pulley, and you'll get your boost just from this upper pulley here. So I think it'll be a neat deal. We got this 100mm idler from Billet Flow. They make 90s or 100s, but you know, I prefer the 90 on the small pulley. We also have a little more belt grab. We shortened the ribs on this pulley a bit and got a little bit more belt grip. So that'll be a good thing. And it is two-piece, as you can see here. So I'm in a pulley situation. Also on the track blower, an option we have now is an oil sight glass. And we're also going to have a small filler and a drain hole for people that want to service the oil in their blowers. The track blower, a lot of these come with the lightweight rotor pack, so they're turning these extremely fast, and a lot of them feel a need and definitely want this quick change oil deal and monitor their oil level. So that's stainless, takes 350 degrees, it's a neat deal. All the track blowers have the Venom cooler, which reduces blower heat by 50%, eliminates blower heat soak power loss. And that's a good thing. So let's get off this for a second. This 249 system with that Billet Flow idler, it's going to take a 73-inch belt. We exclusively use a gauge style belt. We like those. It's a KO80730. You know, on these belts, when you get them, if you look at them closely, you'll see that the grooves are pretty tight and that they're formed in a V shape. As a belt wears, the different pulleys can wear a belt at different rates. Different styles of pulleys can tear a belt up. But when you see your belt that it's worn a square groove and it's slick, it can look in great shape on the outside, but when that groove is worn to that square shape, it doesn't matter how tight the belt is, it's still going to slip. It can make really obscure noises. A lot of times, you know, people may call and think they got a bearing noise or this or that, and we recommend change the belt first. You know, put a fresh belt on, and when you look down at your indicator, you got a floating marker in the middle of the top and bottom stop. If you can get that about 3/4 up, you're right where you need to be. I've seen guys stretch a belt on so tight that it's jammed into the top stop, and it's actually, you do get a bearing noise if your belt is too tight. But that comes, you know, they still have belt slip, they don't know how to control it, but that's one of them instances where the belt is just wearing to a square shape, and it ain't going to hold no matter how tight. So let me go over that. Another new thing we're doing right now, I think you'd be very interested in, is on these Series 2 throttle bodies. You can see that's really nice right there. But you know, we're cutting the shafts, we're profiling, polishing it, and we are now resealing these butterflies. From the factory, it does have a sealer on there, and when you lose that, either from just wear, mileage, just wears off. You might wash your throttle body or clean it up and polish it, and you may lose some of that seal, but as time goes on, you'll eventually lose that seal. Well, that's unmetered air, and it does have an effect on your idle on your car, and you might see, you know, your car might have an idle where it might stick at 1200 or 800 and just kind of fluctuate and have a hard time settling in. it's unmetered air getting by there. The computer's not set up for that. But so when we work on these anymore, we are resealing them, and I think you guys will have a lot of good luck with that. There is another way, you know, if you're having that idle down issue, you can go into the SCT software under the IAC voltage map, and you can manipulate them voltage at RPMs, and you can get it to drop smoothly that way. So that is another option for the tuners out there. On these Venom coolers, the bottom line on these Cobras is a bit tricky. So what we did was we're now putting the lines together, and also on the bottom line we're adding this 2-inch piece up here, this short piece, and you're just going to cut for the rear. But I got new instructions and some really good pics that'll show you the measurements. And you should do this on the bench. Go ahead and take your hoses off the car, get them up on a workbench, and then follow these instructions closely, and then put the hose back on once you have it put together like you see here, and it'll fit perfect then. So that'll be good. Another thing, spark plugs. You know, we get a lot of calls. Plugs. Here's a, what do we got here? Here's a 4177. This is a TR6. This is a common plug for the Cobra cars. Now we recommend this for boost up to 15 pounds, and we'll gap that at 35. When the cars were new, we were pushing a 37 or 8 gap like this is out of the box, but these cars are getting miles on them. The ignitions maybe ain't what they was when they was brand new. So we're recommending 35 on the 6. Now this the 7317 is an 8 on the heat range, so above 15 pounds we'll use this colder plug yet. It'll come out of the box at 22, and we'll go ahead and gap it up to 32 for boosts up to, you know, 19 pounds. What I like about gapping this short gap up a little bit more is when you gap it up, you're going to have an expanded flame travel, which is going to be quicker. And you know, I have noticed idle and drivability. I can tell the difference on this plug, so that's a good one. I know a lot of you've seen this, but there's a view of the Venom cooler right there where, you know, we got water going in, up, over, down, and out here into the intercooler line. It's an easy setup. This one here, can you see this one, Taylor? Can you see the camera? This is a Roush. Can you see it?
Yeah.
This is a Roush Venom cooler. This has actually got a snakebite system in it, so it don't have the light loaders. But this is plated up sides and top and bottom in really a long fashion. This Troyer was had one of the first one of these and actually recorded temperatures on the front drive 25 degrees cooler than the rear of the blower. So it was just so much water movement. So that was pretty neat. And we did another one of them today. And that has a snakebite system in it. The snakebite is an internal gear overdrive, which is we're actually overdriving the blower behind the front pulley. So nothing on the front of the motor is turning fast through the alternator, none of the drives, none of the idlers. We're only spinning the rotors faster behind this front drive pulley. So it is a louder unit, but we're really saving on all the energy that it would take to turn everything else. And the boost will come on in instantly. It's just unbelievable. The boost rise and the torque increase on the snakebite system. There are a couple part numbers we're short on, but there's most of them are in stock. I think there's still there still might be a couple of sets of the Cobras or trucks, but they're really getting down there. Got that. I guess on a last note, I want to hit on these injectors. Here's an injector, a 39-pounder out of a Cobra. We're modifying these injectors, but I'm only modifying the open loop section of this injector. In closed loop at idle and park throttle, that's controlled by your O2 sensors. Well, when we modify this factory injector, we're not altering that. We're only altering wide open throttle and open loop. So you don't need you know, a custom tune per se, or you know, you can drive your car to the tuner. That's not a problem. If you want to make these 60s, you go ahead and drive 2 hours to your tuner. As long as you stay out of wide open throttle, you're fine. Your air fuel is going to remain at 14.7. But we can add the amount of fuel needed on the open loop side of the injector. So the price has went up to $185. It went up $10, which really isn't bad. They're sonic clean, equalized and flow tested. And you get a chart on them, and we also offer, we can replace the screens and the O-rings. The O-ring and seal kit and all that is an extra $50 for those of you who'd like to do that. Well, did we cover it, Taylor? I think that pretty much covers everything at the moment. But I'm going to get back with you. You know, we run that car on the dyno and with the track blower. Wanted to give you a look at the 525 rear wheel horsepower Cobra the easy way. Oh, here's one other thing. I knew there was one thing. We recommend, we really like these Metco cold air intakes. It's an under the hood system. And here's how it comes when you get out of the box. Basically, you have your K&N filter. It'll have a simple clamp that'll hold this there on the side. And then it'll come with this this adapter for your filter that'll bolt to your like your 90mm MAF or your SCT 2600. What we have found though is when you do bolt this, let's say to a 2600, you know, the filter going here, and you'll bolt this to your MAF. Make sure that that's not a lip in there. We went over this last time, and on some mats there's a lip. You need a radius or cut that out so there's no lip to cause a disturbance, which will, you know, it'll give you funny idle drivability issues because that's the, you know, the air going past the MAF wire. So that was critical, and that's what was on my mind, Taylor. So, oh, here's one other. Okay, got him. Also, this is a welded plenum, and the welded plenum, what we do is we'll just go ahead and weld all these deep divots, heli-arc them up, smooth them out, repaint the outside. But that allows us to, can you see it, Tate? That allows us to get, you know, the proper shape and airflow needed. And that's when you order a combo from us. That's part of the combo, the welded plenum. A lot of times we'll make these for BBKs, a 65mm, but that gets cut very large, and that's a really good setup. Also, this track blower here, you know, the stage 6, they all get welded in this area here. And, well, you know, one thing we never touched on that we do on these blowers is these blowers with their bypass valve underneath. These valves on blowers, you know, not just medium miles, let's say 40, 50,000, but on up, they get really wore and can really bleed off a lot of boost. We've always replaced these with new valves, you know, and I think that's a pretty neat deal. We are an authorized Eaton remanufacturer, so we do have these parts in stock that enables us, when we do freshen these blowers, to get them right, and that's what we're here for. So if you have any questions, you can call me personally at 636-949-2275, and I'll have another film coming up shortly when we run the track blower with the lightweight rotors, the Venom cooler, the whole works on the unit in the shop right now. So see you next time.